Good afternoon, students. So for today, we will be discussing the GE Self Kamustahan 1, an orientation session. So good day pala, or good afternoon kasi this would be a recorded one. So I hope you are okay and healthy. I am Jacqueline Iglesias from the College of Arts and Sciences. Okay, so for our session, here are some of the house rules. Then the outline of our orientation are, first, we will discuss the description of the course. Second, the objectives of the course, the grading system, and lastly, some important dates to remember. Okay, so the description of the course. The course deals with the nature of identity as well as the factors and forces that affect the development and maintenance of personality or the self. So for this GE self, we would be looking into what is the self. So instead of me telling you what is the self, we would include here ways wherein there would be reflection so that you will be the one to define the self. Try to discover some of the factors or determinants that may influence the self. Okay, so for this course, there are 3 parts, Unit 1, 2, and 3. So for Unit 1, self from various perspectives, we would be asking the question, what is the construct called self? Meaning, we would try to identify and define what is the self according to philosophical, social, anthropological, psychological, and other perspectives. Unit 2 will discuss unpackaging the self. So when we say unpackaging the self, we would be looking into and asking the question, what are the different aspects of the self? We would discuss here the material self, the physical self, the social self. One of the most important self today would be the digital self, and prominent now, the political self. Unit 3 would discuss managing and caring about the self. We would be answering the question, what do students or how do students learn, set goals, manage stress, and promote well-being? So during this pandemic, during this flexible learning strategy that our government had imposed, I find it very important to start with Unit 3. So from our different sessions later, we would start with Unit 3. Okay. The objectives of the course are, first, we have to define what is the self. Second, develop appreciation of who we are. We tend to appreciate so that we could increase our self-confidence and self-esteem, and try to develop one of the 2 of the 21st century skills, proficiency and effective communication, able to demonstrate critical, analytical, and creative thinking. And lastly, hopefully you could help me at the end of the course, we would find innovative ways or practices to solve our problems, issues within ourselves and our community. Okay, so the grading system for our course goes this way. Okay, so the passing rate would be 60%. So if you got 60% and above, until 110 when above, the lowest possible grade would be 2.25. Okay, during this semester and the previous school year, CHED had imposed P, or a flexible way of giving grading system. P doesn't mean pasado na ha. P means there are things that you lack, but we could not give you a failing grade because of this pandemic. That's why you are required to accomplish this different requirements that you had not submitted, or try to make habol, sabi nga nila. Okay, so when a student with B grade had taken the removal test or tasks, completed requirements, taken the missed term examination, then he or she may receive A, 2.5 if he got 80% and above percentile rank, B, 2.75, it will be 70 to 79 percentile rank, and C, 3, if he got 60 to 69% percentile. Okay, so later we will ask you if you have questions regarding this. Okay, pasensya po, may aso ha. Next. So here are some important dates that you have to remember. So this week, from October 6 to 8, we would have the Kamustahan 1 orientation session. And then we would have, so the task that you have to do is to attend this because we will check attendance. And then you will have the chance to get at least 20 points. Okay, highest possible score. October 8, we would be giving you a link for the different survey forms like us, such as Survey 1 or S1, Student Information Sheet, S2, Student Online Readiness Survey, S3, Feedback on Kamustahan 1. So kindly accomplish this and submit this later so that you may get 20 points for each survey form that you had submitted. Okay. Make it sure that you have a copy of the accomplished survey forms for verification later on. Okay, October 11 to 15, we will have your preparation for the GE self-diagnostic test. Diagnostic test tells us what you know. So we would like to identify so that we have a baseline of the things that you already know regarding the subject GE self. Okay, no need for you to review. This may not be graded, but then we would have a score for participation. What is important here is that during the quizzes, the term exams, you had improved your scores because you learned something. Okay, October 14 to 15, we'll have Kamustahan 2. We would have the GE Self Courseware Tour. So attendance again would be the activity. October 18 to 22, we would have Unit 3 lecture series. This would be synchronous, meaning online at the same time. Okay, so you have to accomplish reflection, unit quiz, and then survey form. And then October 21, please take note of this one, administration of GE self-diagnostic test. Okay, if ever you cannot attend October 1, but hopefully since I am already announcing it, you will find ways to attend October 21 online GE self-diagnosis. If ever, just in case, please let me know 1 day ahead of the schedule. Okay, October 25 to 29, Unit 1 lecture series. November, I haven't included November para matapos na natin yung unit. November 2 to 5, lecture series on Unit 2. Okay, this is for the synchronous. For the asynchronous session, it would run from November 4 to 30. Okay, so what does this mean? You have until November 30 to accomplish those different things, except for tasks that should be done synchronously. Okay, we will give you an idea of that later on October 14 to 15. So if there are no more questions, so can I call it a day? Thank you very much and have a great day.